Hi, my name is Lance Day, and welcome to Team Opal's level. We'll start things off with my level, the warehouse. I chose the warehouse theme because I feel it fits really well into the game's overall theme of being by yourself and being all alone. When we first enter into my building, you'll notice that there are shipping containers to your left, a bunch of boxes to your right, and a locked door in front of you. This is supposed to be a little introductory area where you can get a bit more of practice with the grav null and just play around a little bit. There's no way to open up the locked door in front of you, so to get through, you're just going to have to stack up some boxes to climb over the shipping containers on the left to get to the room to the left. When in there, you'll notice that the scrapper will say how he needs to build his way up to the switch. The scrapper talking in the message system is probably the biggest thing I'm proud of, since I feel it gives a bit more personality and character to the scrapper, which I think he definitely needed. As such, like he says, you'll need to just use the boxes in that room to make a little staircase for you to jump up to the switch and use it. When going into the next puzzle room, the scrapper will say how he can jump across those shipping containers. There aren't really boxes you can use you can control to get onto them. There is, though, a broken shelf you can use to jump onto and then across all the shipping containers. After that, it's just a simple platforming to get to the switch and hit. When in the next room, you'll notice that the scrapper will remark about something to his left. There are two locked doors that you cannot interact with here. However, going through the crouch hole on the left, you'll find the first twist puzzle, which is simple. You just have to stack the two boxes up and then jump across them to get to the switch. Returning back into the original room from the crouch hole, you'll notice that the door on the left is still closed, but the door in front of you has opened up now. Going in there, you'll be able to find the super battery, which is the big key item for the level of the thing that will help you buy your way into the bastion. Grabbing that and then hitting the two switches, one of the switches will open up the door that will connect this room to the starting room, and the other switch will open up the locked door in the previous room. Going into that room, it'll be the final puzzle of the level, which is very simple. It's just a longer version of the twist puzzle that you encountered previously. 2 crates is what you need minimum to complete it. However, if you need more, you can always backtrack to the starting area to grab more crates to help you through it. With that, hitting the switch from that puzzle will unlock the final door and exit, and you will have completed my level. And with that, I'm going to get off the air and let my friend Ben Herbert proceed with talking about his level. Take it away, Ben.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Aber, and this is my Scraps level. I picked the theme of the water treatment facility just because it kind of seemed fun and fit our group's aesthetic we were going for. This first little area kind of shows the player this water mechanic that we've got here and lets them mess around with the gravinal a bit. And then these pipes add as a bit of a leading line in the next room here, in which we showcase the first use of the mechanic out here, and there's a bit of a hazard in the water. Now the player just uses a box to make their way across this room with the flowing water pushing the platforms around. Once the player gets across here, they come to a bit of a safe room up top that sort of just acts as a respawn point and a bit of a place to rest. Coming into the next room, we introduce the other mechanic, that being the pressure plates. You press the first pressure plate, and that leads into a room that gives you a box. If the player takes a box out of here, of course always grabbing pieces of candy on their way, they can drop that box into the water, which will then take it all the way over to the pressure plate, kind of mixing the two mechanics. And then we've got the pipes over there kind of leading from the pressure plate to the door, trying to symbolize and tell the player what's going to happen. As we move into this next room, we've got just one box and a bunch of pressure plates along the wall. And the player can see if they hit the pressure plate, then it turns on and it covers it up. Now there's a bit of a skip here, throwing these across, make things go a bit faster. The box hits all the pressure plates, and the player can just go across to the next room. And this final room just kind of lets the player calm down. They have to clear this pipe out and get all the rubble out of the way. Then they'll be able to make their way out. As they do that, they get everything out of there, press the plate, and the door's still closed because they have to press it again. And they make their way onto the next level for Joshua, and he'll be coming in right here.
Hello, my name is Joshua Washington, and this is my level. At the very beginning, I have two doors that you come in. First door to show you what kind of items you can interact with. And they also can be as a breadcrumb, as you may say. You go inside, and you look around and try to gather as many materials as possible. You don't have to, but I recommend you gather the materials just to look around. And as you do, you will make your way through the corridors within my level. Try to get to the second level. And there's some things that you have to look out for, but if you can jump it, great. But if you can't, well, you will find out sooner or later. With this one, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, how the trapdoors will get to you. Because some items you don't need to collect, but if you want to, you can try your luck by jumping over, if you can. But in the second levels, the items are switched around, and you can still look for the items, but this time they won't light up. You have to literally look for them. As we go forward, we are trying to reach to the very end of my level. And yes, the items will roll if you go into contact. And it looks like someone didn't learn their first lesson. So you already know where mostly some of the traps are. So I'll be going to the very end of the level, and I'll be giving the reins to Patrick.
Hi, my name is Patrick LaPointe, and this is my level. It is a abandoned military base. It is all fenced in with abandoned fences. A few of them are still smoking, and the fires are still smoldering and going out. Each fence has its own gate that you have to open up with our trigger switches. There are breadcrumbs throughout the entire level that'll help guide you to your next switch to open up the next gate. And you should always search around in all of the tents. Some of them have your collectibles that you need. These collectibles are logs, and they will end up helping you in your survival and while you're alone in the world. Each area has its own unique layout. This layout is the woods, and it can kind of get a little bit tricky because if you look to your right off that switch, you would think that that gate opens up right there, and yet it does not. But further research into this level, you will find out that there is a gate hidden behind some of the trees behind you on that switch. like I said from the beginning, you should check your pins and stay out of the fire as well. Although the fire is smoldering, it can still hurt you. It is hot. So as the player looks and sees that there's a breadcrumb this way and that there's another gate, that'll lead them to the next area. And they'll notice that there is not a button in sight in which you can use to get into the next area. You can also move the logs and put them on the smoldering fire. You'll notice that the gate to your right isn't open, and as you look back, you see the parking lot, and the gate to this entrance is open. So as you follow your breadcrumbs back to the abandoned parking lot with the rusted trucks and the abandoned as you've hit the switch, you'll notice that the gate to your right there has opened up back to the other areas so you can collect more of your logs. And then you continue on to this little caged off portion that was hiding one of your switches. You'll use that switch to open up the next gate, leading you into the last part of my level. As you've already learned throughout part of the level, that you need to use your weight in these boxes to open up the final gate. And as you open up the final gate, it leads you straight to the bastion.